Hello, everyone. I'm doing something a little bit different. This is a review of stocks in the US. There's several people in our group who are in the US and trade there, and some who trade internationally. And I thought this might be useful for them. So I've got another 10. I have about 10 on this list. I keep a larger list and I just sifted through them uh, during the last few days. And today I've just finalized them and narrowed it down to 10 that looks very interesting. And the first one, I'll begin with Exxon Mobil. Okay. Exxon Mobil, what you will notice is that it's has gone down from its all-time high and gradually working its way back up. Okay. And this is what I'm looking at right here on the weekly chart. There's a very nice candle here that could go both ways. And I'm kind of curious to see. And when I look on the daily chart, what I notice is that this resistance level of 65.22, that resistance level has been tested numerous times, right here, several times, and it didn't make it. It went back down and hit the support here at 53.51, and it made its way all the way back up. And it's trying several times in the last several days. It's attempted to go and go above that, and it hasn't been successful yet. But because of its numerous tries and because of this candle that looks like it can go both ways, and somewhat of a doji candle, and it could go both ways. And although it is a bearish candle, but I'm still curious to see which way it will move. Okay, and here it is on the weekly chart, and let's see what kind of a movement we'll get. Now, if it does break through this resistance, okay, and then you'd want to wait for a retest, and you're looking at about 8% of a margin right there, 8% of a profit. Now, of course, if you look carefully, it did break out of that level, and it is retesting right now. Okay, and see, it broke out of that level, and you can count this as a retest and see if it pushes back up and goes back up again. And once it pushes back up, it'll go to this next resistance of 71.13 and maybe go sideways again for a while, and then see if it can go up. All right, so that's Exxon Mobil. Next one is Tesla. All right, Tesla has broken through its all-time high again, and it's moving up, and Tesla is looking really good. Okay, so here we are on the weekly chart with Tesla, and lots of people have enjoyed some profits on Tesla. Look at this last 1 week. The highs and the lows of the week, just by looking at that, that's over 10%, close to 11%. The week before that, look at the week before that, that's about 18%. The week before that, so like 10 to 18% the last 2 weeks. That's really a bullish move. Now, what does that mean? What's going to happen after this? We don't know. Sometimes it could find resistance somewhere here and move back down, but it's hard to tell. The possible area for resistance might be this 1300 right here. Okay, this is a possible resistance level. Let me find 1300 and draw it there. 1299. I'll expand this chart a little further, make it easy for me to find that level and to draw that line exactly at 1300. Where is it? Yeah. All right. Did I lose it? Yeah. That wasn't 1230 is what I meant, right? Here it is. All right, 1300. Here we are, 1300. Okay, so yeah, so you have 1222, and yeah, and 1300 is a good possibility for another resistance. Okay, 1300 is a possibility for another strong resistance at that point. Why? Because of these whole numbers. Okay, these whole numbers seems to play a trick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's not a prophecy. That's just a probability. Now, if it does, okay, let's say that it continues to move forward, and if you got in right where it is right now, that's about 6.46%, right? That's and then it's possible that if it finds resistance there, it'll go sideways. So that's Tesla. Now looking at ADP, all right, ADP. I've been drawing a yeah, I've been drawing a channel pattern for a while now, and look at this movement. This is on a weekly chart, so this has been a few months in the making, and it looks like it could be breaking out of that, but let's see. And on the daily chart, look at that. It's peaking out of that level, but let's see if it will retrace again. So that's ADP, and if it breaks out and retraces and moves up, that's a good possible entry point right there. Next one is Wells Fargo. Okay, Wells Fargo is a bank that is one of the largest banks in the U.S. And let's see this. Okay, so it was somewhere around 2018, okay, May, that it hit his all-time high and last, and it came down and it's been going down again. And this is the pandemic right here. Okay, you see the huge drop. Okay, and now it is just reaching its pre-pandemic levels. Look at that. Look at that. So this is like 2020, and the drop. See, many other companies have already crossed that level, and Wells Fargo is struggling to get back up there, and it's kind of surprising. It's a quite one of the largest banks in the U.S. and they seem to be struggling with that. But let's see what happens here. Look on the daily chart. Okay, so you can see on the daily chart, 51.55 is a resistance point that has been respected numerous times, and here it's struggling several times to break through. And sometimes what happens is when there are multiple attempts, it can kind of break through and move forward. So let's see if it does actually continue its rise above that level. And if that's the case, if it does, that's about 5% right there up to the next resistance level. Okay, that seems like a strong resistance level. It's been respected numerous times. Okay, so that's another one that is a good possibility for Wells Fargo if it breaks above that and continues moving up. Next one is Bank of America. All right, look at this. Bank of America is moving toward its all-time high. All right, and sorry about that. Let me bring it back to where that was. Yeah, so Bank of America is moving toward its all-time high, and here in 2020, with the pandemic. See, this is March. See, look at that. I want you to just kind of observe what happened there. Since I mentioned about Wells Fargo, I thought it should be fair enough to talk about another major bank. Another very large one is Bank of America. And look at this. I'm not sure which one is the biggest, but they're both quite large. And see the huge drop, right? It was around from 35.56. It dropped all the way down to about 1850, somewhere at that level, very low levels. And then it's made its way back up and crossed that level. Now it's moving toward its all-time high. So Bank of America seems to have done better than Wells Fargo as far as getting back from the pandemic. Okay, look at that, as far as stock prices are concerned. And so I'm curious to see what happens here, because look at that. You see that red candle? Well, what that's showing is that this resistance has been strong. 47.90 has been strong, and it's been struggling to break through that. And it's still trying to do it. And so let's see in the next couple of days you want to observe what happens. Now, if it does break through this and move forward, all right, that's a point of entry that that looks attractive. And this $50 range there, could be, it's an old resistance level. It could act as resistance again. As I said, these whole numbers are often quite attractive as a resistance level, and let's see how far it gets close to that all-time high. Sometimes there's a little euphoria once you get closer to the all-time high, and the chance of going up is fairly good. All right, let's go to the next one, Occidental Petroleum. All right, here we are. Okay, I want you to observe what's happening here. And I drew a special, see the all-time high is over there, and I drew kind of a special green line here. Why did I do that? Well, because if you look on the daily chart, I want you to see what's happening on the daily chart. See, this really is the resistance level at around 33.42. That's the resistance level. And but it's gone above that several times, and this resistance seems to have acted as a support. Look at that, and not allowing it to go down. And but now I drew this green dotted line there, or green dashed line, because if this can break through that, I think there's a good possibility that it can continue moving up. Now, how far up, it's hard to know, but let's take a look. The reason I say it's hard to know is because, see, look at that, it's about 30%, but there's the price point of 40 right there that could act as a support or as a resistance. Look at that, that's about 12%. Even there, even if the $40 range acts as a as a resistance, even then, you're looking at a good profit margin you can pick up right there with Occidental Petroleum. Next one is Pepsi. Pepsi has also crossed its all-time high, and it's looking very bullish, except this one here, on the daily chart. Now on the weekly chart, this is what I want you to see what's been happening. See, on the weekly chart, it has really done well for several weeks, and this last week has been really good. Look at that move the last week. Okay. All right, look at that. That's about 3%, 3.01% during 1 week, and that's good. And but now, what does this mean? Once it crosses all-time high, does it mean that it's going to keep going up? Well, the sky's the limit. You cannot tell what will happen, and so it's a very good, strong company, and the possibilities are good. Let's see, if it continues to be bullish and continue that push, that strong push, because when you get these nice big candles, that shows a lot of momentum right there. Okay, and you can see the nice volume there as well. Okay, next one is Kroger. Kroger is also getting near his all-time high. Look at that. This is showing, that all these the entire stock market is really just, it's at its peak in the US and in India. It's at its peak. So that's looking really good. And now what does this mean? Here we go. If this moves forward like that, it's over 10-11% right there, okay, toward its all-time high. And so yeah, so that's something else that it's worth looking at if it breaks through this. So look at this. Look how nicely this occurs. So it broke above this resistance, okay, and it's retesting that. And when it retests, you'll see if this previously what was a resistance then will become a support, okay? What was a resistance at one point will become a support. See, this was a resistance and it would not allow the price to go up, okay? And it continued to be a resistance right there, and it got pushed down, and it tried again. And at this point, it did make it up through and faced resistance at the all-time high, got pushed down again below this resistance level. Look at that. This below this, which was a support level at this point, right? And then it moved back up, and it's looked like it's retesting. So if it moves up again, that's a really nice strong move for Kroger. Yeah, about 10-11%. Okay, let's move on to Costco. Costco also has gone above its all-time high. And on the weekly chart, you'll see the nice bullish move several weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. It's been really bullish. And even before that, you know, the weekly moves are pretty good. And let's look at these smaller ones and see what kind of move. Yeah, see, 2.6%. You know, not bad for a week. And then recently it's been even stronger. So that's good. It's something to look at to see if this continues the bullish move forward. And that's something worthwhile looking at and getting into if it continues forward. All right, this one here, Colgate. All right, also getting closer to his all-time high. And look at this, several weeks has been very positive here, looking good. All right, and here you're looking at a profit margin of 2.5% right there. Okay, that's a nice strong candle. And so that's something else to look at. So several stocks right here. I've narrowed it down to 10, and these are good possibilities that I'm looking at for those of our friends in the group who are trading overseas. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. And if it's beneficial, please press like and share it with others whom you think that that could benefit from this. All right, have a good day.